Greetings, this is Pastor John Casola coming to you again with another little Bible study for you to listen to. I'm excited today because we've got some very good stuff here to talk about. And it's so beautiful outside today. It's almost like spring here in Belgium, not like Chicago where you've got all the snow and everything. And it's too bad. It's really too bad. All the Steeler fans. Well, that's the way it goes, I guess. This is the Monday after the Super Bowl. And I was kind of irritated because I couldn't see it. But the outcome was like what I wanted. The Packers won. What can I say? Well, let's get down to business. Let's not play games anymore. Come on, let's get back to business. Okay, we're coming out of Luke 6. We're going to go from 27 to 38, but we're going to read 38 first because I think this is important to put into our minds while we're studying the rest of it. It says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that ye mete withal," in other words, the same measure that you give to others, it shall be measured and given to you again. Okay, let's go to verse 27. Keep that in the back of your mind now. And it says, "But I say to you hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you." Well, you have to understand something here. What we say with our mouth is what happens. If we confess negative things will come back to us. If we confess positive things will come back to us. Like in verse 27, it's saying, pray for your enemies. In other words, do good for those that despitefully use you. Pray for them. And that way you'll pour heaps of red hot coals on their heart so that eventually they'll change. And it works. I know it works. Because your mouth is what's saying what's in your heart. So let's be non-judgmental. Let's accept people for who they are. And let's not condemn them because of something. You know, this couple weeks ago I got a telephone call. And a person was attacking me. He was giving out all kinds of tons of accusations. And he had a very bad tone in his voice. Well, I don't know if this person really realizes what he's doing with his mouth. When you attack somebody, another Christian, and you attack a Christian, I feel sorry for the people because they have no idea how God will bring in return the judgment against them, because it's said so many times you have one finger pointing, but you have three fingers pointing back at you. You might say you get 3 times as much harassment coming back, but you seed faith, not just money, but what comes out of your mouth, what you do during the day, how you speak to people, how you accept other people, how you allow other people to be blessed by you, not cursed by you. So that's what it's saying here. Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. And unto him that smiteth thee on the one cheek, offer also the other. Well, I don't know. That's not quite so easy as it is to sit there and pray for somebody. But people who have accusations, normally it's through hearsay. And of course, we all know the Bible says you don't accept hearsay. And people usually plant bad ideas in the ears of somebody else. It'd be a good idea to research or ask and think, now, why is this person speaking so badly of this other person? You have to wonder sometimes why they're doing it. And if they're doing it for a bad reason, or you think there may be a bad motive behind it, you need to really question. Anytime somebody comes to me and starts talking bad about somebody, I start to question, okay, what's the situation here? And it talks about, if the man takes your cloak, forbid not for him to taking the outer coat. They had 2 coats in those days. One that they just flung around them and flung over their arm, and then they had another kind of jacket on. Is if they need one, give them the other. Well, I kind of had that same situation happen here. When I was in America, I shipped a box full of clothes to here for me. The box never arrived. And the officials that I spoke to, they looked around at the different places where it could have gone. And they got back to me with an email and said, well, we're sorry, but we can't find it. Well, there's only one reason a great big box like that could be lost, and I think it may be because somebody might have just decided they needed the clothes worse than me. So I guess you might say I've just gone through that, because if somebody did steal them, then I hope they fit. I hope the colors that I picked they like. But the one bad thing about it is it had the shirt that my wife bought me for my birthday. It was a nice shirt. I really liked it. But that's neither here or there. It says, give to every man that ask of you, and of him that take away thy goods, ask them not again. As ye hold that men should do to you, do ye also unto him. In other words, what they're going to do to you, if it's good, do it back good to them. Don't replace evil for evil. Now, I don't wish anything bad on that man, or if it happened, truly, and that somebody stole those clothes. I can't understand how it can get lost in the mail, especially military mail, when they're supposed to be so good. But I hope the man really likes the clothes. But it says, if you love them which love you, what good have you done? What thing have you really done that's really hard? And if you like the people and do good to the people that do good to you, what have you really done also? If people talk good to you and about you and you have fun with them, that's no big deal. But people that talk bad to you, and you still pray for them, and you still love them, and you go the extra mile with them, that takes a little more guts. It takes a little more love from the heart. And it's got to be God-given. But in verse 35 it says, but love your enemies and do good and lend, hoping for nothing in return, and your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest, and for he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil. Let's go back here. It says, give, but hope in nothing in return when you lend. Well, if you don't expect anything back, and if it doesn't come back, then you're not disappointed. You have a way where you can accept the concept of just giving. Giving is giving. It's not just money. This is not talking about money. This is talking giving of yourself to other people. And as you give of yourself to other people, God's going to bless you back. And you see, this is what I really think verse 38 is talking about. And a lot of people say this is talking about money. Well, maybe it is. But I think the reward that you're going to get, pressed down, running over, is after you treat people correctly, like the Beatitudes here are saying, then you're going to get back a lot more than what you gave up or gave or sacrificed for, because there's truly a sacrifice if you do this. If you love your enemies, if you love those that speak bad about you, if you don't do bad to them, it's unbelievable. And let's go to chapter 7, verse 6. And this goes along to being a good example of what your mouth can do. What we just read over here in the Beatitudes, how it can change people's lives. Because remember, as a Christian, we're out to change people's lives. My job as a pastor is not to play games. We don't have enough time left. We have to talk to people about Jesus Christ every single time we get a chance. You don't need to harp on it. You don't need to beat people over the head, because they're just going to turn you off. But you have to know the right time. And this next thing, it talks a little bit about that. And then I'm going to read it first, and then we'll come back and talk about the different scriptures, because this is so important. This is a really, really good example of the centurion with his faith and what he's done and what he's done for his servant, because he has a servant that's sick. And he's talking about the Beatitudes here in chapter 6. Well, we have a perfectly good example here of the master being concerned about one of his servants. You don't see that very often today, people that are that concerned about one of their workers. I remember as a kid, most of the companies used to be family owned. Now you're lucky if you can find a family owned business, because they're all sold out to big, huge conglomerates, and the only thing they're concerned with is not the worker. They're concerned only with the bottom dollar for the people who invest in the company, so they have a return on their investment. Well, I think this teaches a little bit different. Let me sign off and let me come right back, and we'll get into chapter 7. Thank you very much.